So, welcome in beautiful sunny Germany. Today I will be making a little let's watercolor. So the subject you can see here is kind of a spider lady. Essentially the thought behind this character design was, how cute can we make a spider monster? Very cute, that's the answer. But also very terrifying, which is the best kind of cute, if you have a cat, I suppose. Well, so I'll be using my Russian watercolors again, with my brush, as you can see. Fittingly to the watercolors, I am listening to some Tchaikovsky right now. I will put the link in the description below. Because even if you're listening to classical music, YouTube might come and say, wait a second, somebody put that on the YouTubes before you. This is not your stuff. We will punish you with all the might of justice. Except it's not justice, it's silliness. To stay polite. Could use some other terms, but well. Anyway, the advantage with that method is that I can listen to whatever I want, and that is cool. So, talk about the picture. Right, as you see, I'm nearly done with the greens. I'm not making my life complicated today. I will be using how is it called? Well, the nice green. Yeah, I call it the nice green. It's one of my favorite greens. Kind of a dark green with a very natural color. It's very pleasant. I like it very much. Yeah, so we are done with that layer now. Here, there's a little bit more. I will probably get back to that a bit later to make some highlights. So that's done. So, the ground. I will first be using some ochre, which some people might recognize as kind of beige, but a bit yellowish. That's ochre for you. It's one of the most important main colors you can have. The thing is, ochre, you can rarely use it as it is, except you want beige. But it's great to have kind of an underlay color to warm everything up, which is very cool. And that's actually what I'm doing here. Because there is a ground, so first I'm doing some ochre, and then I will get back to that with some other colors. Something that's a little difficult with watercolors is you have to take in account the drying times. I don't remember what color her hair was. Let me check. So the trouble with watercolors, because of the drying times, you can't do everything at once. So I'll be able to do her hair now, and then I can start with the body. But with the chair, I have to wait a little bit until the ground is dry, and also with the well, you can see what I mean. It's just in front of you, isn't it? Let me see. I think her hair was yellow. Loading. No. Actually, it's purple. I was all wrong. Yeah. For the spider body, I'll be using gray. So gray and yellow hair. That's actually that's not the right black. Yeah, they're different kind of blacks actually. It's a bit surprising if you are new to watercolor and stuff. But depending on what's used to make the black, you can have this is a slightly brownish black once it's diluted, but when it's undiluted it's pitch black. I have another one that goes more into grays, I mean bluish grey. So that's something which could be a bit unexpected. Right. So, yeah, I can't continue now because of the drawing times. Yeah, let's just let that dry for a while and then be back. Okay, we are back. It's dry. So yeah, it's easier to let everything dry once in a while. That means I will be able to do pretty much everything at once, which is always good. Not that I'm expert on what's good and what's bad. Practical advice, maybe. What can I say about drawing? Watercolors are all about adding colors on top of one color, which is the color of the background. Contrast to techniques where your background will be covered up. With watercolors, it will have to work with the background, which means that it's much better for lighting. I mean, if you're good with it, and I like that. But it's not the easiest technique in the world. But once you get used to it, you can be pretty quick, depending on what you draw. I've seen people using watercolors to do some really astonishingly realistic things. Good for them. Really. This is super realistic and oh my god, it's crazy. What the point? I mean, I have a camera, I can take pictures. It will be as realistic and even a bit more. I don't know, I think realism is very interesting when you draw things that don't exist. Otherwise, I think it's impressive, sure, but it's completely useless. A lack of creativity. Of course, that's just my the opinion of the guy who was drawing a spider monster for I don't know why actually. As I said, the idea behind the character design was let's make a spider as cute as possible, which is probably a weird concept to begin with. So some highlights to make the legs nice and pop up. So first as you see, I've put some really thick layers, and while it's still wet, I just dilute it on the side so that makes shadows pretty quick. And that's good because I don't have much patience. There's the guy who did 1,000 pages of comics, just well, even with the comics, if you look at this, one of the reasons I draw as much is because, well, these comics I draw, and essentially I hate waiting for the comic. I don't like waiting for years until I know what's finally happened. It drives me crazy. Well, not crazy per se. It's just tedious and a bit annoying. There. Nothing dramatic. Okay, now I'm using some, I don't know what the name. Painters will probably be able to tell you this is like dark ochre or light umbra or yellowish. Now, if you have somebody telling you it's yellowish, it's probably not a professional painter. I will be using just a tiny bit of this. It's kind of red. It's a bit surprising to use, I know, but You see, it mixes with the layer beneath. It's really not that red. Oh, come on. Yeah, you can't really tell which line will effectively really do something. Okay, I'll use this for the shadows on the chair. Oh, that was a bit much. I'm listening to my music. Yeah, right now it's Tchaikovsky. That's this. I've put a playlist on right now. The song is not my favorite. It's the Slav March. How's Autumn again? I forgot. Let's see. Right now I need some brown with the chair. Yeah, no, it's not very creative. What brown for wood? That's boring, man. I want you to use like blue. It's like super artistic and stuff. Yeah, but many chairs are actually brown. Interestingly, there is a drawing tool it's called, I don't know the English name, it's Brou Noir. I can check the internet how it's called in English, maybe they have it. Brou Noir in French. Okay. Load, and nope, I don't know how it's called. Yeah, you see walnuts? Walnuts, when they're still on the tree, the tree has kind of a very thick green layer around the nut. That is sounding a bit wrong. And when you take this layer, normally you don't eat it, you throw it away, it dries away essentially. It just decomposes, which is not something you want to happen to your nuts. And once it's dry, you can actually use it to paint. And it's a very pleasant shade of brown. And actually they use that to make tables and stuff like that a bit more brown. If you have wood that's not brown enough, just put that on it, and it gives it a nice shade of brown, which is much better than a shade of grey. Yoink. I'm not. Oh, it's starting to look as I wanted it to look. Another hair, it's a reddish purple, so first I'm applying some purple. This Brou Noir, as I said, they use it for stuff. So if you see chairs that are very brown, chances are the wood is actually like grey, but it's covered in a nice layer of brown, making it look brown. But it's not brown. It's a Matrix, man. Nothing is real. By the way, the choice of color for the spider, grey body and yellow eyes, it's actually the same as my cat. So if you were wondering why the spider had these colors, it's because my cat. So I think it's cute. Because cats are kind of predators too. So it's fitting. Okay, as I said before, I wanted to do some highlighting. Yeah, she has leg warmers. Because why not? I mean, I'm drawing a spider monster already. She has many legs. Maybe she wants to keep them warm. it's good for her. She knows what's best. She's the one with a spider body. You know, I didn't really think about her actual anatomy, so I don't know if she has book lungs like actual spiders, or if she is using similar lungs to ours. Yeah, not my problem this time. It's her problem. But I think she has functional lungs. No, actually, I'm kidding. I think the lungs would be situated here, like in a normal human. Be it only for practical reasons, because that will allow her to speak. And with the spider body, what's impressive is here this part, where you have the guts, of course, but a surprisingly large place of its space, sorry, is taken by the how is it called? You know, the spider web producing glands. That's what takes the most time. Space. So we're nearly done. I'm just highlighting the body a little more. As you can see, it has a lot more volume now than before. That's the point of colors, I think. When it comes to colors, I think it's completely useless to have colors if you're not making an effort. What I mean is, you have comics which are in color, but why is it in color? It's useless. Oh, I was a bit surprised to see that they did a color version of V for Vendetta, because the original is in a gorgeous black and white. And for the coloring, they redrew everything in more boring and put on some boring colors. No, really, I can't remember anything about the colors in that. It was just nah. It worked, but it was uninteresting. Right, some highlighting for the hair. And I think the original looked so much better despite being just in black and white. So here I'm trying to make color useful in a way by giving it more volume. It's actually a bit quicker for me because I'm not very good at making flat color surfaces. And I'm really bad at drawing on the computer. I can do it, but oh man, such sadness. So unpleasant. So much nicer to draw with proper tools. So here's the result. Camera, see. Yeah, she's seeing the. There we go. I will upload the finished picture. I will put the link in the description below. Have a nice day, and don't be afraid of spiders. They're more afraid of you, except you live in Australia. Then you're screwed.